We begin tonight with Bill O'Reilly, host of the No Spin News, BillO'Reilly.com. All of his content online, YouTube/Bill O'Reilly, new book, Confronting Evil, Assessing the Worst of the Worst. O'Reilly, I was going to start on the economy, but I think I sense a moment that you and I can team up against Cuomo. Are you ready?
Oh, that's not fair. I can handle it myself.
Okay, well, you know, I'm just going to give you some help. You don't need the help, but he says this Epstein vote is this hugely consequential vote. This is going to change things, on and on. I think it's going to be pretty meaningless.
Look, it's such a confusing mess. I can't even speculate about it. When I spoke with the president, I reported this on NewsNation before, in March, he asked me, and I said, just release what you have verified. And for example, if somebody went on a plane to the Caribbean with Epstein, you got to release it. Because the manifest is there, you verified it, you got to put it out. But if it's just some schmo sitting in a meeting of 8 people in the 21 Club in Manhattan, you got to be careful with that, because the climate we live in, the vigilantes will try to destroy you if they don't like you or your family. And then when I finished the conversation, he goes, yeah, I think that's what we'll do. We'll get everything out. And then it never happened. And I don't know why. I just don't know why. I've been busy with foreign policy and speaking with the president about that. Putin, Epstein hasn't come up. But I can't analyze with any authority tonight why this thing has developed into such an out-of-control item. Because it is.
You think Trump's lost
control? Tomorrow, no. He has control over the executive branch.
No, I meant politically.
He doesn't have control over the hearts. He doesn't have control over the hearts and minds of the American people. He does have control over the Republicans in Congress, no doubt about that. But people are going to, as you pointed out, they're going to evaluate the president about what kind of pain they're experiencing right now. But tomorrow, Congress will pass letting the Epstein thing out. But then Attorney General Bondi has 30 days. So you're not going to get anything this week if people are jumping up and down thinking this is the last week of the Trump administration. You're wrong.
No.
It's not going to come out until mid-December. And when it does come out, there'll be redactions. And there always are. And so I'm not expecting Donald Trump's presidency to be damaged at all. Okay. I could be wrong.
Well, right, but
it doesn't
not only
make
does the
any
House
sense.
Right. Not only does the House have to pass it, then the Senate would have to pass it, then Trump would have to sign it, and then you get 30 days.
Trump will sign it.
There's a lot of things. We get to Epstein next. I want to get you back to the economy, because you said something important. He doesn't have control of the hearts and minds of the American people. You went to Harvard, O'Reilly. You've told us that before. There was a very famous, not as famous as you, political scientist there,
yes.
Richard Neustadt. And he said the real power of the presidency is the power of persuasion. When you see Trump up there talking about how great the economy is and how prices are lower and on and on and on, has he lost also the power to persuade the American people?
I don't think he was ever a persuader. I think he was a populist. There's a big difference. He never tried to nurture his opponents to sing it his way. It was his way or the highway. What's interesting is the historical perspective here. In the second term, all presidents, modern presidents, with one exception, and we're starting with Harry Truman, okay, with one exception, have lost a lot of power in the second term. Ronald Reagan lost an enormous amount of power, partly because he was befuddled, because the dementia was creeping up on him. But the only president who did not lose power in the second term was Dwight Eisenhower, because things were going so well in the 1950s in America, there wasn't any attacks on him. There weren't any attacks on him. He had things under control, and he handed it off to Nixon, who blew it with JFK during the debates and on television. Now, Donald Trump finds himself in a second-term situation where there are serious problems that have not yet been solved. Now, Trump says he's going to solve them, okay? The high cost of insurance, killing people, and there is no health care plan on the horizon.
Thank you for watching. Subscribe below and download our NewsNation app right now on your phone, and you will get fact-based, unbiased news for all Americans.